Oh yeah, good old coffee. All right guys, welcome back. Survival Living here. So in the greenhouse today, trying to take care of, make sure everything's watered and everything, and kind of like wanted to bring you guys along, kind of show you what's been going on with our garden. We've got a lot of success. We've had some failures and stuff. So right fast guys, I wanted to go ahead and discuss, my wife is back home. She was in the hospital for a while. She had some things going on with a gallbladder infection and stuff had developed in her, and it's causing all kind of problems. Luckily now the doctors got her a good series of antibiotics, some other medication and stuff, dealing with some other issues that we ran into. But she's home now, so definitely appreciate the thoughts and prayers, guys. We needed it, we really did. Now guys, when it comes to prepping, I'm no guru. I just try to show you guys what we do, and we show you what fails too. I mean, here on the channel we do a lot of gear reviews and stuff, things I want to test out, and some of the things I like and some of them I don't. We got a greenhouse. I went on Amazon, bought this one for $100. I've discussed this before, and framed it up and everything. Cost another $100 for lumber and stuff like that, and it's done very well. We've been able to sell a lot of plants on our local marketplace. I think we were selling them at $2 a piece, and it actually helped out the bills a lot. It did. But we also have to have room for our own garden. Now what I have right here on this table, and I got a lot of stuff back there, I'm still trying to weed through, no pun intended. We have green beans. Now I started these green beans in little styrofoam cups. If you guys have been following me for a while, you know what I'm talking about. And I transplanted these in these containers. So we've got 6 green bean plants. These are the bush plants right here for the greenhouse. I'm gonna swing you in, and yeah, it's doing great. There's also some lettuce in here because I ate a lot of lettuce. So let me grab the camera and we'll swing through here, and then we'll go out. And that guy needs a muffler on his car because it sounds like crap. All right, so yeah, all these plants, guys, are non-GMO heirloom seed. It won't be long, we're going to be picking all these green beans and thinning some of this stuff out. Those are those 2 plants there. This one here is a little late in the delay on the green beans. They're still working on it. We've got some growing there. Moving on. We got more over here, and we got some growing over here. We got a lot of things. We just haven't had the time, and we're running out of room. I did start some spinach in here because I've got something that's attacking my spinach plants in our raised garden, and I don't know what it is, but this spinach plant has been doing very well hiding in the greenhouse. Tomato plants and stuff like that. We got all kind of that's the little herb garden right there. I still got to transplant all that stuff. I run out of time on some of these. This is watermelon. As you guys can see, it's already doing all this stuff in this little tiny cup. That's not good. The kale, however, does not need a lot of room. It doesn't need a lot of water. It's actually doing very well. I do need to get that transplant eventually. These are bell peppers. I need to water those. We got jalapeno peppers. We've got Brussels sprouts, more eggplant. A lot of this stuff's got to get moved. That is onions, and they're doing very well as well. So let's move on. Little cheap solar panel set that actually feeds our solar generator inside the greenhouse. Green beans, these here started off again in cups. They are starting to run, starting to pot up. There's also peas in there as well. They are starting to pot up. Everything here has started out of one of those styrofoam cups, and the squirrels have planted their feed corn again in my garden. Some more lettuce coming on around. Tomatoes, both of those are tomato plants. Now this here was an experiment. I wasn't sure if this was going to work out or not. The zucchini plants have exploded. They have just about dwarfed the corn, but things are growing. So let's go ahead and get down in here. Always, guys, when you got gardens and stuff, watch out for snakes, because snakes love going in places like this. We got zucchini growing. They are doing great. Kind of tunnel up underneath there. Corn is growing, and like I said, it's getting hidden. This stuff should have been spaced out a little bit more, but so far it is still working. More corn. That is a green bean plant that has attached itself. More corn over there. So all the corn is producing. Lima beans are doing good. See here, we got limas. Yep, lima beans. They are all potting up. Watermelon, he's working his way out. He's going everywhere. Like I said, this is complete chaos, but it seemed to be working so far. This is cantaloupe making a run for it. Doing good right here in the corner. Got more zucchini growing back there. More green beans. Let's see here. This is also lima, but I am not, they got itty bitty pods right now. Nothing major. So, yeah, we're gonna have to do some serious collecting. I got green beans growing down there. Oh yeah. Hey, I'll tell you this much. Having too much food is not a bad thing. But, as you guys can see, it overtook itself, and that's just the plants. There is some weeds in there, not many. Most of it's just the plants. I had no idea that those zucchini plants were gonna get that freaking big. But that's good. I got corn hidden back there too. So, corn's doing good. Let's move on, shall we? Okay, so potatoes. I think we're getting close. I'm seeing some discoloration down here in the bottom. I think we're getting close to harvesting. And now, of course, you gotta wait till all these things die off up top, from my understanding, with potatoes. So, still got a ways to go, but I'm hoping for a good haul on that. That'd be awesome. Moving on, more lettuce. Yes, we got watermelon in here as well. And we've got baby watermelons being grown. Little tiny ones right here. So I can get them in there, yep. So, that is working. We got more zucchini growing. Moving on, more zucchini growing here. Yep. And we got some summer squash also growing here. Very nice. Over here, guys, the plants didn't really take off, but they're still producing green beans. These are pole green beans, and they're short, but they have been producing because we have been picking to keep everything watered and stuff. But yeah, the green beans are still growing on these little tiny pods. You can see I've got little zip ties and stuff loosely holding this stuff on, but as long as it's producing, right? There's another one over here. Green beans are growing. Yeah, I know I need to cut the grass. Ran out of time. Moving on to cucumbers. This is one of the cucumber plants. Like I said, guys, I always look for snakes and things like that. Got a cucumber growing. The plant itself's doing great on the fence line. Moving on. Got another one down in here. More growing on the vine itself. Moving on here. And another one. And another one. So that's good. Moving on to our little grow beds I made. And like I said, we had to learn a lot this year on this. This is only 2x4 high. I want to make it twice as big as far as depth, or maybe 3 times next year. Broccoli's doing great. I can't tell if it's coming in good on camera or not. The reason why it needs more soil, guys, is because it gets hot down here in Florida, and just the amount of soil I got in here is not enough. It dries out quickly, so the more soil, the more moisture is going to be able to retain in the soil. More broccoli. I did see some little nubs starting to develop, so that is definitely good, seeing nubs on the broccoli. Eggplant. So far the plant's looking good, but nothing's actually coming from the eggplant itself. Brussels sprouts, as of right now, nothing. We got collards back here in the back, and we also got more cantaloupe running everywhere. Moving on over to here, I had to thin out some of our lettuce because it was all bunched up. The strange thing is, every time I go and cut this lettuce out, we just take a whole section out, this stuff here starts growing again. I mean, we've already thinned this stuff out like 3-4 times already. We eat a lot of salad, so I love having lettuce on hand. But as you can see right here, this one right here, starting to grow again. And I had just trimmed those. Now, our spinach. This is what we're talking about. Swiss cheese. Something is eating. I can't see anything. I'll come out here at night. It'll start off with like little tiny holes. I have not come across a single bug, except for ants occasionally, but they don't seem to be eating it. I don't know what is terrorizing our spinach, but that's kind of disheartening because I really love spinach too. Oh yeah, and back here in the back, I forgot, we also got more eggplant growing. More lettuce growing too. I gotta thin this one out. We just watered it, so every time you just water it, kind of looks like it's a little limp and everything else. Then it comes springing back up. But yeah, zucchini and stuff's looking great. So all in all, guys, I would say so far we've been very successful. We still got a lot to get to before harvest date though. But all in all, guys, learning experience. Never claimed to be the best at it. I just know a little bit, enough to get me by, but I want to be more proficient at this. I do want to set up another greenhouse next year. I do. There was a good market for seedlings, garden starters. There it was. I mean, I did really well, and we sold over 460 plants. That's not bad. Here in Florida, as you can see, I do have a lot of shade here. Midday, it's actually after midday, it's up to 2 o'clock here. So this is actually not a bad spot due to the heat down here in Florida. So everything's been growing great in the greenhouse. I know you want to have full sun all the time, but there's just a lot of trees here around the property and stuff I can't take down, so we'll make it work. We do have a fan that's hooked up to our solar, and we also have a solar generator that we'll hook up to, blow cross breeze. I think that might be helping with the pollination of the plants as well, because guys, I haven't seen many honeybees this year. You know, I keep on checking and looking, and I'm not seeing much movement. Now here in the greenhouse, we'll leave the windows open, and I'll leave the front door open too, so hopefully things would come in. The only thing I've seen come in here are mosquitoes, and they love it in here, which is nice and humid. That's another reason why we turn on the fan, because I noticed I was trapping too much humidity in here and the plants were struggling bad. So once I opened up everything, had the fan going for a cross breeze, everything blew up so much better. I'm really excited about these green beans. I eat a lot of green beans. Everything that we're growing is stuff that, well, I will eat. Some of it I'm not a big fan of, but when you're hungry, you'll eat it. I'm not a fan of eggplants, zucchini, or squash. I'm just not. But my wife cooks it, I'm gonna eat it anyway. So I want to encourage you guys to keep pushing the boundaries, trying to teach yourself more and more new skills. One of the things about growing food, and I've grown food in the ground many of times, is always a learning curve. There's always something unexpected happens, and you need the skills. Stockpiling up as much food as you can, absolutely, especially with what's going on right now. You know, when we saw this whole tariff stuff, I said, this is going to be bad. It's going to hurt us. And everyone else, well, no, it's a bigger plan. It's this and that. You're going to be a little bit of pain. Well, when you're living paycheck to paycheck, you can't take any more pain. I mean, seriously, it's all you can do. I know. I already know. We won't go into that. I discussed that in my last video. Things just, no matter how much you worked, and I was working 2 jobs. Thankfully, I've got an opportunity at a much bigger shipyard that actually pays much better. So I will be taking that opportunity. It's a further drive from my house, but you know, it is what it is. Oh, funny story. So because I know this job is going to be it's going to be a 2-hour ride every single day, okay, and plus depend on traffic. Went ahead and got an oil change, you know, some restore for my big old V8, you know, a lot of high mileage on the vehicle. I went to Walmart and got my oil. I like Castrol GTX, high mileage, it's good oil. I decided I would go to the synthetic round because I usually use conventional oil. I always have diehard conventional oil guy. Well, you just can't find it anymore. So, went to Castrol. Actually got a decent price, surprisingly. I got 5 quarts of Castrol oil for 20 bucks. Surprise. They didn't have my oil filter though. The restore, engine restore stuff I used to put in my oil change, that was $11. So I went over to the parts house near me and told them I need an oil filter for my truck. They handed me one. I'm looking at it, so no, this is not the right oil filter. It's way too big. So you have the 350 model, which is mine, 5.7, and then you have a diesel model. Well, unfortunately with my vehicle, the oil filter sits above the front differential. You can't see it. You got to feel for it. It's up underneath the exhaust manifold and above the front differential. You just cannot see it. I'm trying to argue with this guy, and he's getting red in the face. No, the computer says this. This is it. I know. So, got home, drained the oil, fought the oil filter off, messed it up trying to get it off too, and it's the wrong oil filter. So now I had to walk in the rain all up to the parts house, and I was livid. I was hot. Get up there, and I asked for the manager, and when you know it, the individual that sold me the oil filter, that told me he was right and I was wrong, is the manager. Yeah, I kept my cool. I've been stressed out. But the guy goes, well, sorry about that, sir. I said, sorry about that. Now about walking in the rain because you sold me the wrong part after I already told you. Oh, it unleashed on me. I unleashed. That was it. Ooh, it was not a pretty sight. I am just so tired of stupidity and self-entitlement. Just because you're a manager of something don't mean you know what the hell you're talking about. I've been doing mechanic work my whole life. When I'm telling you it's not the right part and you're telling me, well, the computer says so, I don't give a jack what the computer says. Turns out, case in point, I was right. Oh yeah, then I had to walk back in the rain. Luckily though, yeah, I had my poncho and stuff, guys, so yeah, I didn't get completely soaked. But yeah, I'm just fed up with it. I'm just fed up with people in general. The mentality people have. I am. I'm guessing many of you guys are too. The self-entitled, self-righteous, I know everything because I think so. It's going to come to a point where there's going to be a day of reckoning with these people. And it's going to be during shit hits the fan. They are not going to make it. They're not. They think that they're so freaking smart on stuff, but still not have any actual knowledge of jack. Years ago, if you're going to work in the parts house, I'm talking years ago, back when I was 15, 16. I'm 46 now. To hold that position, it didn't have the computers. You're using a book, looking up parts and everything. You had to, one, either be a mechanic or a service writer for a mechanic shop to even work in those places. Now, back in the day, to be a service writer, you had to have been a mechanic first. Not true anymore. When I worked up for the Mazda dealership, we had individuals that were passed through. They were going to be working as service writers and had no clue anything about a car. None. But they're going to be the ones to try to sell what we're recommending the vehicle needs, but they have no freaking idea what it is. None. You know, I had a timing chain cover. The gasket was leaking, and it was leaking bad. And I filmed it, sent it to the customer, and, you know, sent it up to the service writer. Well, I ain't heard nothing back in like an hour. I go up there, he's on the phone with the individuals. I knew he was talking about the car I diagnosed. Oh yeah, so the timing chain cover is the gaskets to keep water out of your engine. What? No. Stupid. It's just, but I listen to people talk like they know what they're saying because they emphasize on big words and everything, and their persona is this. And when you listen to them, you realize they are talking out of their ass. And that's the people that's going to really hurt during shit hits the fan. There is no preparedness on the level. You know, I'm actually kind of nervous about having a greenhouse, to be honest, having a garden. It's one of those things that you want to have during shit hits the fan, absolutely. But you want to talk about being a target? My backyard, all right, I got a fence, and there's a ditch back there that goes to retention pond. But back behind me is apartment complexes. They walk their dogs and stuff back there all the time. They see me out here with a garden. They see me out here with a greenhouse. When things go bad, what do you think is going to happen? They're crossing that fence line. That's exactly what they're going to do. People through the front yard, they see that we have gardens and stuff. What do you think is going to happen? You know, I try to push on having a community of people, and I know it's difficult. I don't like many people myself. I don't. When I think I know somebody and I trust them, they turn around and stab me in the back. It's going to be hard to operate this stuff, your home, your little plot, and go fishing and hunting and keep all this stuff protected by yourself. You know, that's why I keep pushing for a community, but even that, you really don't know people. Anyway, guys, I want you to prepare as much as possible. When this stuff goes down, and it will, you're going to be left with decisions that's going to affect your family, life and death decisions. And I pray to God that you get clarification and discernment from God upstairs, that He helps you make the right choices. Because when you don't, well, then your family takes the blunt of it. So, till then, stock up as much as possible. Canned goods, dry goods. Do what you can to put food back so you have a safe zone. But you need to have a bug out plan just in case. All right, guys. Speak to y'all later.